Well, the Fox News Tonight Common Sense Department sure did see a lot of picket signs out today and heard a lot of shouts and demands. You see, this is day one of a 3-day strike in the LA Unified School District, which is the second largest school district in the country. And that's amazing considering in the past several years, LA Unified has gone from 746,000 kids to 422,000, a 43% decline. When you lose nearly half of your students, does anyone believe things are going well? Common sense says the only thing dropping faster than admission rates are test scores, now at a 3-decade low. In LA Unified, just 42% of students can read at grade level. In math, only 28% are proficient. And now the teachers think the best thing for these kids is to take a few more days off. Haven't they had enough time off? When the students finally came back from COVID, the superintendent said they would need sustained support over many years. I'm not sure exactly which LA superintendent said that because there have been 10 in 20 years. Walmart employees last longer. So bottom line, the district is offering an 18% increase over 3 years. The teachers want 30%. It's not based on merit, mind you. But as Common Sense points out, nothing in public schools is based on merit these days. Let's bring in Reform California Chair Carl DeMaio. I mean, the real truth here, Carl, is great to have you on, is that these teachers and these students need 3 more days off like a hole in the head.
Well, remember, LA Unified I think, broke the record for the longest period of time shut during COVID-19. Those stats that you just shared, let's put it in a different perspective. 28% are meeting the math proficiency, which means 72% of kids in LA Unified are not meeting math proficiencies. More than a majority are not meeting reading and writing proficiencies. And it hits disproportionately Latino and African-American kids, low-income kids. The other stat I want to point out from what you just shared, there's about 420,000, 450,000 students left. It depends upon the week. But we have 100,000 employees at LA Unified. That's one for every, what, 4.2, 4.4 kids? This is insanity. These people should be apologizing to parents. We should be thinning the herd and really looking at the real core issue, which is why are we throwing more and more money at this district and getting less and less results for our kids?
The only ratio worse than that is Stanford University, which has 18,000 faculty and administrators for 17,000 plus students. You know, that's kind of that's a good one.
Everyone gets their own professor.
Everybody has somebody looking after them. 72%, you mentioned the number, 72% kids. That's not really a bump in the road, Carl. I mean, that is a fall off the cliff, and something has to be done for public schools, not just here, but across the country.
It is complete failure. Why are we not seeing hearings in Sacramento? Frankly, in Washington, D.C., why aren't we actually considering putting LA Unified School District under a receivership? Because by every metric, this is a crisis.
Meantime, California Governor Gavin Newsom wants to turn San Quentin Prison, 500 inmates on death row, they would be moved to other prisons, wants to turn it into San Quentin Rehab Center so he can rehab some of the inmates, I guess. California Assemblyman Tom Lackey says the following, watch.
What's happened is we've created this whole energy behind only the offender, and the victims get completely forgotten.
Because the victims aren't politically beneficial anymore, right? It's only the offenders that the politicians can latch onto.
You know, last night when you covered this on Common Sense, you pointed out that Governor Newsom said he's worried not about what these people are going to do when they get back out on the streets. He's worried that they'll leave the prison bitter. So what are we going to do? Offer them, like, warm towels and massages? The other thing I want to point out is that half of the prisoners who leave prisons in California today are reoffending within 2 years. So that's a recidivism rate that shows that this governor does not know how to rehabilitate. These prisons are too soft on the criminals, and that's if we are lucky to prosecute someone and put them behind bars. That's not happening very often in California.
Well, you'll be happy to know that we have the solution. Apparently, classical music is the solution to crime in California. You just turn it on in the metro station, which they're doing in one of these metro stations, because crime on the buses and the trains is so bad, nobody wants to get on the buses and trains. Nobody wants to pump music in there. So the metro station is going to have classical music, and it'll all be solved.
Yeah, the stats are that we have a 50% decline in ridership, and that's compared to pre-pandemic. Nobody wants to go on the metro or buses in LA because it's too dangerous. And now we're finding a 25% increase in crime. When the press release went out saying that LA Metro has a plan to deal with crime, I thought, okay, here they're going to do it. They're going to hire police officers. No, they're going to play classical music because they somehow think that that's going to, what, suppress criminal urges. The only thing that we can do worse in California is release more prisoners, and that's exactly what Newsom plans to do with this rehabilitation center concept.
Release the prisoners and then play the classical music, and then it'll all be okay.
We just needed to do classical music all along. That's the solution, right?
I do this so much during the day, it baffles me. Carl DeMaio, great to have you on. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.